Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So I was pretty stupid when filming this video because I filmed the whole thing but didn't have my mic turned on, so there was no sound. So now I'm doing a voiceover, so my lips will not match with what I'm saying. But anyway, in this video I am showing you the makeup I wore for my wedding day. So it was quite a glowy, reasonably natural look, and I just thought some of you might like to see what I did because I didn't get to show you before the wedding. Mainly because I only decided the day before. But anyway, if you'd like to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. So I'm starting off by priming my eyes. I did my eyes first just because I didn't want any fallout. I'm using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Then using my Morphe 350 and that light colour I just showed you, I'm just setting down that primer. And next, using this colour, I'm just using that as a transition, so I'm buffing that throughout my crease. I tend to try and use like one palette at a time in most videos, but I used a couple on my wedding day just because I can. And this is the iconic London Day to Slay palette, and I can't remember the colour, what the colour's called, but I'll try and leave it below in the description box. And I'm just deepening the crease up slightly with that colour, not taking it up quite as high as the first one. And also taking a little bit of that colour on the outer corner of my eyelid. Now taking a darker colour back in the Morphe 350 palette, I am deepening up the outer V slightly and just adding a little bit more depth to the look. If you can hear meowing in the background, by the way, that's just because I got a new kitten and she's being a bit noisy. Then I'm just going back in with the same brush I used the first time round and just making sure everything's blended out nicely. Now for my favourite bit, I took the shade, I think it's called Peach Fizz, out of the iconic London palette and just used that on my lid. I didn't want to go too over the top, but it was a nice kind of pop of shimmer. I did think about using glitter, but I decided just to go for shimmer in the end because it's not quite as dramatic, because I didn't want to go too crazy on my wedding day. And again, just blending the edges out with that shimmery colour. Now moving on to my face, I am priming. I use two primers, my Benefit Porefessional, which I use in my T-zone, and then in a minute I'm going to use my Becca First Light priming filter on the rest of my face. These are kind of my go-to primers that I'll use when I want my makeup to stay on forever, and that's pretty much what I'm using throughout this whole video, is my kind of favourite go-to tried and tested makeup products. Now for colour correcting, I'm using my Barry M colour corrector, the green one obviously, and I'm sure most of you know this, but I'm just using that to cancel out any redness, which I need quite a bit. And next, I wanted a really glowy look, so I'm using my iconic London Illuminator drops. This is the shade Original, which I think might be a little bit dark for me actually. I probably should have got the lighter shade, but anyway, I'm just going to put that all over my face using a beauty blender, and just to give my face like a nice glow for when the foundation goes over the top of it, a little bit will still peek through. I hadn't actually tried doing this before the wedding day, which was pretty risky actually, but I think it worked out okay, so it was all good. And just blending that into my forehead. Now moving on to foundation, I wore my Estee Lauder Double Wear. I ummed and ahed about what foundation to use for months and months. I bought loads of different ones to try it, and I went back to my original foundation that I had in the first place before I bought all of those foundations. So that was a bit stupid of me, but it is such a good foundation, it lasts forever. So yeah, that's why I wore it, and I'm just blending it into the skin using my beauty blender again. Now I did a bit of cream contouring. That's a little Kiko kit that I don't think is available anymore, which is a shame because I really like it. And I'm just applying some to my cheekbones, under my jaw and to my forehead, and then in a second I'm going to blend that out. The wedding day was such a good day. I have put a blog post up about it that I'll link below if anyone's interested in seeing some pictures and things from the actual day. It was just really, really special and it went wonderful. I'm chatting a lot here, aren't I? No idea what I'm saying. And then just blending out that bit on my forehead as well. Now for concealer, I used my e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer for my under eyes. Again, this is kind of my go-to concealer at the moment. I just find it's got the right amount of coverage for me and it creases not very much. I didn't really say that very well, did I? Anyway, I'm blending that out using my Eco Tools little mini sponge. I can't remember what it's called. And then I'm going to bake using my RCMA No Colour Powder. I pretty much do this on a daily basis now. And just to lightly set the rest of my face, I'm using my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder, just because I wanted everything to stay in place for as long as possible. It was a long old day, my wedding day. Very good, but long. Now for some bronzer, I use my Benefit Hoola bronzer, which I am obsessed with. No other bronzer compares at all in my opinion. Now I'm just warming up all kind of the points of my face that were tan, so like my cheekbones, my jawline, and I'm going to take some on my nose and on my forehead as well. I just love this bronzer so much. Now for blush, I'm using a Tarte one. I think they're called the 24-hour Amazonian clay something or other. This is the shade Risque. I didn't want anything too crazily blushy. I'm not a big blush person. I just wanted a kind of subtle flush, and now I'm just brushing away that bake. And for highlighter, my favourite part, I'm using my Smashbox Spotlight palette in Pearl, and I'm using the lightest shade, and I'm pretty much just going to put that all over my face because I want it to glow, like glow to the gods kind of glow. And a bit down my nose, on the tip of my nose, oh, not doing it yet, and a bit on my Cupid's bow as well. I bought this highlighter just kind of on a whim, and I'm so glad I did because it is actually my favourite. And a bit on my inner corners as well. Now moving back to the eyes, I'm going in with the same colours I used in my crease, but just on the lower lash line. I didn't want to go too heavy because I wanted a fairly natural look, but I just added a little bit underneath my eyes. Then this darker shade, just really focusing on the outer half of my lower lash line. Now for liner, I spent ages trying to find a good liner. I settled on the Urban Decay 24-hour waterproof waterline pencil. My eyes are pretty watery, but this one doesn't seem to budge for quite a while, which is good, so that's why I bought that. It's quite expensive for a pencil, but it is good. I'm just using that to tightline, and then I'm taking my NYX Wonder pencil in the shade Light to line my lower waterline. And that just kind of brightens up my eyes and makes me look a bit more awake. So I wanted to look like I'd slept before my wedding day. Now for mascara, I didn't wear false lashes on the day just because I'm not that good at them and I didn't want the stress of having to do my own false lashes in the morning, so I used the Maybelline, what is this called? I can't even remember, it's upstairs, but I'll leave it linked below anyway. I've just had a mind blank, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, I use that mascara and it's the waterproof version. So it lasted through any tears that might have happened on the day. But in the end, I didn't even cry, which I was quite surprised about. So I didn't need the waterproof, but it's better to be safe than sorry, really. Now for brows, I didn't want to go too dramatic with these either. I just wanted them kind of filled in a bit. I used my NYX Micro Brow Pencil, which in this video was pretty much dead, so I did have to go back in with a new pencil, which I've got the benefit goof proof at the moment, but I was trying to use this one just to kind of be authentic and show you what I used. But yeah, I just find pencils look a bit more natural than a pomade, so that's why I went with that. You can see here I'm using my Benefit one, and just obviously going through and blending out the brows. And I also added some brow gel. I did use the Anastasia brow gel on the day, but I've run out of that as well, so I'm using the Benefit 24-hour brow setter here. Now for lipstick, this is a really expensive lipstick. It's from Tom Ford, and I know it's not the kind of traditional bridal colour, but I didn't really want a plain nude. I wanted my lips to look like I actually had something on them, if you know what I mean. This is the colour Pussycat, and it's really, really lovely. I personally love this kind of colour. And the lipstick, it was really expensive, but it lasted ages. Like through the ceremony, through the meal, it did really, really well. I think I only had to touch it up like once throughout the whole day. So yeah, for me that was worth it, and if you can't treat yourself on your wedding day, when can you, really? Next, for some setting spray, I used my Urban Decay All Nighter, which is kind of really the only one I have at the moment, so that's why I use that. And I probably went a bit mad here, that's quite a lot of setting spray. And anyway, this is the finished look, so I hope you like it and I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was just kind of a really glowy, fairly natural look for my wedding day, and I did really quite like it. I was quite happy, and the morning went really well and the whole day went really well, so yeah, I was really pleased with how everything came out. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you wore on your wedding day or what you're planning on wearing on your wedding day. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and make sure to subscribe before you leave as well. And I apologise that I messed up this video. See you next time. Bye.